My wife has left me for another man, and I was directed here to start the process. My wife and I have known one another since November of 2013 and began dating right away. I'm 28 and she's 24 at the time of writing. We met when she was 17 and I was 21 years old. It became a little bumpy after a year, but we patched it back together and persevered with it. On May 16, 2016, we were married. We had our son 2 years ago. She just informed me 8 days ago that she was seeing another guy and that it was physical. At the time, she'd been seeing him for 3 weeks. I asked her if she felt I should go and whether I should bring our kid. I walked into the other room and went to bed when she dozed. I'm just stunned. I spent the whole following days staring at the ceiling in between taking care of our baby. The following day, I loaded everything I could into my vehicle and drove out. I'd want to make it clear that I have a serious drinking problem that has engulfed me, and now that it's damaged my life, I can't allow it ruin my son's life. Therefore, I'll start attending meetings right away. We've been happy together for years, making sacrifices for one another and enjoying each other's company. We lived in a metropolis for 3 years after we married to allow her to advance in her work. I was running a retail shop and earning a lot of money. She was managing a restaurant and earning a lot of money, but we never saved and were always bad with our spending. We tried for a baby on Valentine's Day 2017 and got pregnant on the first attempt. Our bills were mounting, and we lacked health insurance. I resigned from my management position so that I could seek a fresh job and qualify for insurance for her. You never know what might occur throughout a pregnancy. We determined she should retain hers since she enjoyed and was enthusiastic about her career. I got a new job in insurance. We welcomed our baby into the world on her due day, joyful and healthy. The delivery was natural, and I held her hand throughout the whole process, seeing my son enter this world and even cutting the cord. We were overjoyed and in love. When the insurance company paid out, I resigned that horrible job and went back to work for the same firm. Our bills continued to mount, and we were forced to file for Chapter 13 bankruptcy. We were, nonetheless, surviving. We basically lived our lives for the next year and a half, loving one another and raising our baby. She persuaded me to relocate to another location in order to accept another job offer from the same firm with a significant salary boost. I told her that I didn't want to give up what we had, but she persisted, and 3 months later, I eventually said duck it and caved in, telling her we could move again and start over in the new city. I gave up all I like about what I was doing there, as well as our house, which we both adored. We had plenty of space there, as well as a fenced-in yard for our kid. We relocated 5 months ago, and I ended up working for her for the sake of convenience since we were having such a difficult time finding a decent, trustworthy daycare that there were days when we simply worked opposite shifts to make it work. I felt less of a man and went into a profound despair. I grew cold and distant to her, and we ultimately only had intimacy once every several weeks. I stopped looking her in the eyes, holding her, kissing her, and caressing her. With a child, we were almost like housemates. We never discussed it, though. She, too, ignored me, but I'm sure she saw the despair in my eyes. But she looked to be enjoying herself, and I couldn't simply walk away or tell her we needed to go someplace else. Our flat was very tiny. Tiny, for example. We had nowhere to enjoy one another's company like we used to, and nowhere for our kid to play, run, and laugh as he used to. So suffocating. I should have done something, like seen a therapist. I tried to find a job that I like, but I simply sat there and rotted. Every day, I drowned myself in the bottle. I performed all of the housekeeping, including washing, dishes, food, and childcare for our kid. I was merely a drone going through the motions. When she informed me, she claimed she felt dead within. It was my D-Day. She felt nothing and needed to go experience something else. That day, I died a bit within. I went away, utterly shutting her off. It took a few days for me to wake up, but I battled for her. I asked for forgiveness. I offered to attempt to find religion with her, despite the fact that I am an atheist and she is a Lutheran. I told her I'd do everything to keep her in my life, to get the assistance I needed for my drinking that I should have had years ago. I just wish she had given me an ultimatum before having an affair with me. She has, however, already gone away. My heart and soul are broken right now, and I'm having a terrible time keeping it together. I really want to drink, but I can't because I have to do this for my kid. I have a job, a place to live, and my kid. I promised her I could forgive her and we could rebuild our lives together, and that I could stop drinking. Pay attention to us. I've made so many errors. 2 days ago, I offered her the same ultimatum she should have given me a month ago, and she picked him. I'd been sleeping for a long time, and just now awoke. It's been a living nightmare. I can't stop vomiting. I've started getting panic episodes and breakdowns at random. I considered altering all of the screenshots, eliminating names and locations, and just posting them. I'm with you, everyone. I attempted to win her back in those texts. She even had the audacity to announce on Facebook that she was in a relationship after I had changed my status to separated. I'm over here trying to reach out to her, but she's already gone on. It's as though she's no longer the same person. Today, I sent her my last statement from our relationship. We will only discuss money and our kid from now on until the divorce is finalized. She will continue to pay on the bankruptcy and aid me financially, since if we fail or reorganize, it would make life difficult for all of us. This includes our kid. Now I'm going to make my last statement. Me. There's one more thing. I'm sorry I got into such a funk when we moved to. I simply wasn't happy there. I was in a deep depression. I didn't pay attention to your bodily or emotional requirements. I got much more immersed in the bottle than I had before. I kept those sentiments hidden from you because I wanted to offer you the world. I sacrificed the satisfaction of having a real house and a real work for you. I should have gone to therapy. We both should have, particularly since your sister died, and I wasn't there for you at that time. I had lost my desire to actually live and to live through you. I can't undo what I've done or the decisions I've made, but I'm glad you've discovered a spark of pleasure in your life, because it will keep me going, along with the delight I derive from spending every day with our baby. I've even pondered trying to find another lady to love, but I know I can't. It will not be love. It will be hollow. It will not solve anything. It is wrong, and it is not fair to our kid. I posted all of our photographs here to remind me of the love we shared when we actually loved each other, and I'll keep moving ahead to ensure our kid is loved, happy, and well. I'm going to see a counselor soon and simply speak to someone. Her. When we moved here, we both lost a lot of who we were. We became into shells of ourselves, allowing it to take over everything. I'm also sorry for not paying attention to your needs, emotions, and happiness. We were both living in a darkness, and it was ruining us. I truly hope you go find someone to speak to, and that you keep away from drinking. Our kid is everything to us. You have no clue how much I miss him. I'm overjoyed that he has you. I'm certain he's in good hands. Me. But I also want you to remember that there is no justification for the decisions you took, and if you hate me for it, that's okay with me. I want you to remember that you abandoned us and your kid. We did make a pledge, which you violated. I'm going to dump it now. Have a wonderful life. Now look at some opinions. That final section of the post, the last paragraph, 5 sentences, is all that is required. Keep it in mind. She abandoned you and your kid. She selected someone she'd barely known for 3 weeks. She ended the marriage. Whatever difficulties you had, you didn't look for solutions outside of the marriage. She did, and so the failure is totally on her shoulders. Now put down the drink, take care of yourself, and look after your kid. Disinterested in maintaining touch with her kid, discontinue all communication. Speak with the ugliest shark of a lawyer you can find and serve her with divorce papers. Make it as genuine for her as it is for you. Make her confront the ramifications of her behavior. Above everything, brother, take care of yourself and your son. We can't afford to get divorced. Lawyers, for example. For the time being, She is prepared to continue bearing entire responsibility for the bankruptcy so that I may concentrate on caring for our baby. He's a pretty cheerful young child who's growing well. We still have 21 months remaining on the contract, and the payments are hefty.